Okay.
Okay, so
I'm just accepting the recording. There you go.
Brilliant. Lovely. So today I'm so pleased to introduce you to Sarah Nelson. Sarah is the owner, the managing director at the Duke's pub in Heath and Reach near Leighton Buzzard. And I've had the pleasure of getting to know Sarah over the last few months, but I had met her previously. Sarah, I know the last few years has been a bit of a nightmare for the industry, but take us back a step. So what made you go into the industry to start off with, and then what made you choose the Dukes, really?
Well, I started in hospitality when I was 13. My friend's mum had a hotel and I went to work there as a chambermaid. And I ended up, when I was 18, being behind the bar, and then over my early 20s being a restaurant manager, bar manager, functions manager, events manager, and kind of doing all the roles. So I always worked in privately owned little hotels, and I always had a love of characteristic old properties. So when I found the Dukes, I ended up working here because I'd taken some time out to have children, and I'd gone back into the industry after my brother-in-law had taken on a pub with no bar experience. And I just thought, well, if he can do it, why can't I? So I started looking around, and we'd been to the Dukes some years earlier when my children were christened, and we'd come here for an after party after the christening. And a friend of mine told me it was up for sale, and I was so nervous to come and ask the owner if I could buy it. But we ended up renting it for 18 months. And then we bought the property like sort of 18 months to 2 years later.
Wow. Okay. So you kind of, well, you did your due diligence, but and then decided that it was for you. So I'm guessing really that was kind of pre-COVID, and you'd got things going, and then you were like, oh, I don't know, I need to look at what we're going to do. So what do? You then contacted the hotel inspector.
Well, so that was 2016 when we first opened, and then we managed to buy the property in 2017, and yeah, the hotel inspector came along in 2019, so it was some years later. But we'd the gap there was at a time when I had the personal setback of getting divorced and lost a bit of focus on the business, and we'd had a real flying start the first year. And then the second year when we bought the property was obviously tougher because we had to find the money to buy the property. And then the third year was all about going to court to get divorced and sorting out child arrangements. So my head wasn't really in the game at the time, and I really lost direction. So Alex Polizzi came along with the hotel inspector in 2019 and just kind of helped me get my focus back, and change things around a little bit within the business that at first I didn't agree with, but it turned out that she was right, and we moved the bar into the restaurant. And so the bar, which was at the time used just as a bar for drinkers, and this conservatory where I'm actually sitting now was the restaurant, and Alex Polizzi suggested that we put the food service into the bar, which was the old characteristic side of the property. Lovely. So turns out she was right, and people love it in there now.
The thing is, so I watched that episode, and I know you can actually see that on your website as well. But previously I've watched episodes, and she can be really scary and quite full on. But she didn't come across like that with you at all. I just felt like you were both kind of, yeah, okay, this is working. I'm guessing, you seem to kind of gel.
Well, she was really scary at first. She gave me a bit of a telling off in the first part, and I, to be honest, I didn't like it at all. I was very against what she was saying, and then we kind of went with it and just thought, well, hopefully she knows what she's doing, and turned out that she did, and we had a much more successful business because of listening to her advice.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So kind of moving on then, we've had COVID, and I know you did an awful lot of stuff, you know, like a lot of pubs did through COVID, trying to keep supplies, and you used your car park and that sort of stuff. But post-COVID, I mean, I'd come there once a month, and you do an amazing setting for our networking meeting. That the pub is absolutely wonderful, but I know that you've got lots of different packages, and you know, obviously you're a pub, but you also do your bed and breakfast, and you're really looking to kind of hire out the whole venue. So you have a venue package, don't you?
Yeah, so that sort of came around because of COVID, and because of the changes that we'd made just before. It was almost like we just got on our feet, and then COVID happened. So we finished the filming with the hotel inspector late in 2019. Then obviously March 2020 was the start of the pandemic. So we really had a chance to refocus and rethink again. And what we identified quite quickly, it was that when people come and have a birthday party or an anniversary or a funeral or a wedding or something like that here, it's a very successful event for the business, and it's a really good size for about 50 people. So you can have a really lovely intimate party, and because of the character in the bar as well, even if like only 30 people turn up, it still doesn't look like it's empty, so you don't feel like Billy No Mates in a big empty hall. It's the space can be divided up, so the like one half of the bar can have 30 people, and then the other half, or less than half, can have 20 people. So it's a really lovely size venue for about 50 people. And the feedback that we get when people have parties here is always really positive. People have a really good time. And so we started to put together a package of venue hire where you can hire out the whole venue. So you get it from sort of 5 p.m. in the evening, and we can sleep up to 14 guests on the premises. But we've also got 2 other pubs really close by that can sleep another 30 guests between them. And we can do a party in the bar for up to 50 people. And yeah, you get the whole venue, and you can come and see your friends again, like a lot of people haven't done since COVID. There's a lot of people out there want to get together with the people again. So yeah,
so that can be for anything then, Sarah. That can be for a wedding or for a birthday or an anniversary or a wake. How much does it cost to do that?
Well, the package that we put together is a exclusive use venue hire package. And so what you get is a buffet for up to 50 people in the bar. You get £500 to spend on the bar in drinks, and you get accommodation for up to 14 people, bed and breakfast, and a cake if you need a celebration cake, and decorations. We also have a really good sound system in the bar, so you can create a playlist and put your own music on, and we have disco lights in there as well. And we do that whole package for £2,000.
Wow, that's brilliant. And that includes, did you say that includes bed and breakfast as well for 14 guests?
Yeah, bed and breakfast for 14 guests, £500 to spend on the bar, and a buffet for 50 people, and then you know the little other bits and pieces that we do as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's amazing. So I know you also do things like Sunday dinners. Apparently you're, what was it, rated the best Sunday dinner around on TripAdvisor.
That was on the Bedfordshire online. In fact, one of the team here saw it. I didn't even know it was going out, and just happened to pick it up on Facebook the night before that. The Bedfordshire Live had run an article about the best roasts in Bedfordshire, and we came out 4th.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, we've been shouting about that all over social media ever since.
And you do all the cooking yourself, don't you?
Not anymore. I was doing it for a bit, but I have a girl called Eva who helps me now. So between the two of us, yes, we do most of it ourselves.
Oh, that's amazing. So what was it that kind of brought you to the Dukes itself? You know, was it, I mean, it's, if you've not been there, I'm just talking to everybody else now, if you've not been there, go, because the pub is it's kind of oldie world. Well, it is oldie world because it was built in the 1735. I've just written down there. So
yeah,
it's a really old pub, but it's obviously a bit of an old and new as well, because all the guest rooms are obviously weren't built at that time.
yeah. So the pub itself was built in the 1700s, like you said, and originally it was 2 cottages, and it was separated by a fireplace, which now separates the 2 kind of areas of the bar. So we've put a double-sided log burner in there, so it's really cozy in the winter and creates a lovely atmosphere when the fire's on. And it's a thatched roof, so it's like proper traditional British pub type building. But yes, you're right, the rooms out the back are more modern. They were built in 2007, I believe, just before my time, but they were purpose built as bedrooms. And yeah, so you kind of get a bit of both. But I've always had a love of characteristic old properties, and I think as a kid I always wanted to have a walk around fireplace and a thatched roof.
And that's what you've got.
And this is why we're here. Yeah.
Oh, so really the final question is, I know you're looking for events, but that could be during the day as well. It doesn't have to be at evenings or weekends. Sunday evenings, I know quite often you hold you run kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Networking?
Craft fairs.
Craft fairs.
Like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So you've run that, and you've run networking, and you've run other things. So you're open to anything like that, really, aren't you? Yeah.
So the package that we talked about usually is a weekend package, so a Friday or Saturday night. But you're quite right. Yeah, we do funerals, and we do networking events. We do classes or trainings, like if someone's looking for a business, looking for a space to hold a conference or something like that. But because the bars, we serve lunches and dinners, but we serve lunches 12 till 3, and we serve dinners from 5 o'clock. So we also do breakfast, mostly for room guests, but they start at 7 o'clock in the morning. So in the day, we've got between 10 and 12 every day, and between 3 and 5, 2-hour gaps every day where the bar's not really being used. So we've just taken on we've got a group who come and play Rummy Cup, which is a maths game. I've never heard of it, but they now come on a weekly basis. Yeah. And excellent, the phone's just been answered. So we're looking for things like that. We've had a Stitch and Bitch group used to come and sit in the bar when we were open, but because of the layout of the bar, we can easily divide off little areas, so we take groups of 6 people to 60 people.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So what's the best way for people to get in contact with you? Is it just by ringing, or is it through the website? What's the best way?
So either, really. We get inquiries in all sorts of places, I suppose, like most people do these days. The best way is to ring the pub, which is 01525 237 892, because there's an answer phone service on there if you don't happen to get through straight away. Or you can email us, which is info@thedukes.uk.com.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I know it's very quick, but it just gives people a bit of a taster, and also to show people that you're actually a really nice landlady as well. So
thank you.
Do get in contact with Sarah, because as I say, the venue is amazing, and Sarah is really, really accommodating. So pick up the phone and go and have a look around. So thank you today, Sarah.
Can I just say the website as well has a lot of information on there. So if you want to find out about anything we've talked about, there's a lot of stuff on there, menus and venue hire stuff as well. And that's thedukes.uk.com.
Lovely.
Thanks,
Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye.